Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. My name is Jenna. If you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date on all my latest videos. It's been a bit since I saw you guys. I think it's been about 2 weeks since I posted. I had family in town, and so I wanted to prioritize being present and all of that, and yeah, and so I also didn't really have a video that I wanted to 100% post, and so I figured that it's better not to post a video that I absolutely hate. And so, to today's video. I wanted to do this video a while ago, and I had filmed it the first time in April-ish, May, when we first moved out of our apartment, and it just did not turn out well. And so I decided to wait on it and give it a few more months and figure out, honestly, if the decisions that we had were good decisions. The theme of the video is what are the top 5 must-haves for new homeowners. Because whenever you buy a house, I think that, I didn't know exactly what was needed, and we learned a lot of, we figured it out on our own because it's, very dependent on you. But at the same time, it's just, kind of helpful to just know where the starting point is and stuff. And so I thought that it would be helpful to go through that with you guys. So I'm also folding laundry because it's a chore day, and so we gotta get some stuff done. First things first, this is gonna be dependent on your property. So to give context, Nick and I live on 2.5 acres, and our house is about 1,200 square foot. It's a little bit more, but it's about 1,200 square foot. And so we have a lot of land. And so our needs are more land focused and property needs focused. So I'm going to preface everything with that. So for our honorary mentions, Nick helped me with this list because what I thought was important and what he thought was important are two different things, because we both do handle different chores of the house and different items of the house, and we help each other out with both of those. But it's very both of us kind of just discussed of what we thought was most important, and then we discussed why we thought they were. So we're going to start with the honorary mentions, and the two that we have are a good wheelbarrow. We've already been through one. We had one that ended up cracking because it was a plastic one, so we got a metal one, which was more heavy duty. But a good wheelbarrow is one that we thought was a must because we've used it, I think, almost every weekend for moving. We have a pine tree that is losing all its pine needles. Maybe it's not a full-on pine tree. I don't know what type of tree it is. But we had to scoop up all of those into the wheelbarrow multiple times. We use it to move dirt. We do a lot of that stuff. The other honorary mention is a dolly, and we've used that to help us move into our house. It's definitely not necessary for everyone. I just can't help Nick move everything because I am a little bit of a weakling, and so we needed that to help move in our furniture and move heavier things around the property that I just am not able to lift up. But we have a I think it's a convertible dolly, so it is both one that can roll with 4 wheels, but also the normal dolly that has 2 as well. So I'll put a picture of what ours looks like here. So for the 5th most important, we'll start with 5 and go down to 1. The 5th most important, we were saying that the landscaping items that kind of fit your lawn's needs, as a category, is important. So for us, we have used insect and weed sprays on our lawn a lot. We have a lot of ants, a gross amount of ants on our property, and so we've had to use that. We've had wasps that we've had wasp nest in our carport. I've sprayed for cockroaches outside our doors. You have to spray your door and entryways and stuff like that, your windowsills, all that. And so just knowing kind of what type of insects and what you need to prepare for is a good idea. That also kind of goes with if you have an apartment or you're renting a townhome. Know what your landlord covers and what they don't. I know with my old apartment, our landlord used to spray for cockroaches and other pests and stuff like that. And they also handled all the lawn maintenance, so just know what they did. In this category, we also have like shovels and rakes if you need them. Axes, like we've used an axe, we've used a handsaw to take down a few trees. And another one is a mower if you need it. Like I said, we have 2.5 acres, so we have a riding mower and it is very necessary for our lawn. But we also have like a weed whacker that we got to go with that. So just like knowing what, if you have like a smaller piece of property like a half acre, then you probably don't need a full-on ride mower. All right, in fourth place, this was actually one that got changed out from what my original video was. This one we have down, and this is more specific if you want to do like DIY projects at your house, or if you want to be more focused on that type of like woodworking type things. And that is like a circular saw and a miter saw, and now that I'm thinking about it, probably put a sander in that with that, but you can also just hand sand. We have a miter saw and a table saw, which does the same thing. It's a more bougie version of a circular saw essentially. But yeah, so we do a lot of we're working on a lot of DIY projects, which if you tune in next week, you'll see one of them, a part one of them. So you'll see something in progress that we are working on, our bar built-ins. So make sure you stay tuned for next week's video. But that's besides the point. Yeah, so a circular saw and miter saw are very helpful, especially if you want to do DIY projects and stuff like that around your apartment and build your own items and all that fun stuff. The third category that we had is painting stuff, so like painter's tape. I probably put putty in here and like drywall putty and sanding, because honestly I've used that a ton to fix like holes and fix like taking out and making things mine, or ours, not mine. It's been really helpful to have, and also just in general it's really good to figure out what you're doing with all your stuff. Also like rollers, brushes, just having a few sets of those is good to have, because you never know when you may need to like touch up a baseboard. You don't know when you might need to touch up a spot, so it's always good to have some extras laying around. Alright, so in second place we have a drill, a power drill with a bit set, with both types of bit sets. So like the ones that go into the screws, and also the ones that you use to drill pilot holes. Both of them are really important, especially if you're going to be doing any DIY work around your house, but also just like in general to put things together. It's super helpful to have them. And this could work for somebody in an apartment. You can't really drill as much into an apartment or anything like that, but it still is, I think, important to have, and all of that. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward of why you should get one. And the most important is one that Nick and I both agree on big time, and this can be for anybody that is first moving out on their own. Honestly, it can be for kids that are in college. It can be for really anybody, but specifically if you're getting your first apartment or buying your first house and you're moving out of your parents' house for the first time, this is a huge one. And that is a extensive toolkit, or a full set toolkit. So by that we kind of mean like one that has more than just a screwdriver and wrench. Like you want to make sure it has the wrenches, you want to make sure it has a hammer, you want to make sure that it has a bunch of stuff. So ours has like a ton of stuff. It was Nick's. So originally I just had screwdrivers, I had a hammer, and I had Allen, like the Allen wrench, I think it's called. Whereas Nick had like a full-on extensive one, and we have used his extent, like we use it all the time. And so his is probably a little bit more bougie than what you need, but he got it, I think, as a gift when he first moved into his apartment in college. And that's why I would suggest, if you know somebody that's moving out, it's a really good gift to get. And if you are moving out and you don't think anyone's going to get you one, then you should get yourself one. And it also doesn't hurt to have extra tools, honestly, because there's some times where I'm like, Nick and I are both trying to do a project at the same time, like different projects, and we both need the same screwdriver, or we both need that, so it's helpful to have multiple types of the same thing. But yeah. So that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And like I said, these are kind of just our thoughts of what we thought is the most important, and it's going to really be dependent on your needs and your house and whatever property you're buying. So for us, we live in the country, like it's just really dependent on what you need, and our needs on a 2.5 acre property in the middle of nowhere is probably different than somebody that lives in a townhome in the middle of the city. And so take that as best as you can, and yeah, like I said, these would be good gift ideas, or yeah, good gift ideas and stuff like that. And it can be applicable to people who rent. Not everything will be applicable though. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys back here next week with another video where we will be showing you part 1 of one of our DIY projects where we are using a lot of our power tools and stuff like that. So stay tuned. Make sure you hit the subscribe button down below if you want to stay up to date on all my latest videos, and go follow me on Instagram at MissJennaChristine_. I've been trying to post over there a lot more, and I'm doing a gratitude challenge for the month of November because Abby Elizabeth Howard of Matt and Abby she did it, I think, 2 years ago when COVID was really ramped up, and I missed it last year. I realized it afterwards. I didn't do it last year. I did it the year before, but I enjoy doing it because it just reminds you of how thankful you are of small things. So I am thankful for a lot of things this year. So if you want to stay tuned on that journey and watch what's going on over there, then stay tuned. Yeah. Besides that, I love you guys, and I'll see you guys back here next week with another video. Bye.